Well, hello everyone, and once again, greetings from what I'm coming to think of as Winter Wonderland in March, national headquarters here at Wheaton, Illinois. In preparing for this month's blog, I had been looking at this as a relatively slow month until I started to just make a little list, so hopefully we'll have time for all of the things that went on during this slow month. First of all, just to bring you up to date on a little bit of the Midwest's weather, as I speak right now, we're in the middle of an 8 to 12 inch predicted snowfall. We'll see what actually happens, but show you a little bit of a couple of shots from the view around here of what it looks like when it's actually snowing. Actually, it's quite beautiful. The last couple of years, it seems as if the month of March has been the time when we've had some of our heaviest snowfalls, even though spring is supposedly, at least according to the calendar, it's about 2 or 3 weeks away. So here's a little bit of that. So here's the view in the lobby, just to give you a little taste of what it's looking like from our warm inside, looking out to the outside. And that's today as we speak. So it's a little bit of snow. And it's something that we always have to keep track of. Mark Remick and the grounds crew are out sometimes early in the morning. Jeff Gresco gets up sometimes at 6 o'clock in the morning when we get these unusual snows and has to work to clear it. So it's an ongoing process. We have 42 acres, and some of it involves roads and walkways. So in times like this, it's a beautiful time to be outdoors. And no matter what the weather is, you can depend on the kids from the Prairie School being out there playing in the snow every day. Twice a year, our board of directors, our national board of directors, gets together for a board meeting here at the national headquarters. It takes about 3.5 days is what we schedule. And it's a time for everyone to actually bring their input from their various districts, as well as to go over the various goings-on within the Theosophical Society. For the little organization that we are, there are an awful lot of complexity that goes into making all the various things that seem to happen seamlessly happen. So it's a time for the directors to touch base with the operation right here at the administrative headquarters. So the various departments will come in and give their reports on their activities and their vision, where they're headed and the things that they're looking for. It's also a time to review the finances for the Theosophical Society. And that's always a large portion of, it takes up the first part of the meetings. So that's something that the board comes together twice a year. In February and again in July before the summer national convention. So this is a shot inside the board of directors meeting with our national treasurer, our national secretary, chief of staff, and the board, as well as John Kern sitting to my left. One of our members. So in about 4 months, we're going to be having our summer national convention here. I just want to give you a little bit of a preview of it. Many of you perhaps have already seen the advance notice of it on our website. But for the past couple of years, we've been having some really exceptional sorts of programs. We traditionally have those, but we had the Dalai Lama, of course, 2 years ago. And then last year, our conference was even better attended than the Dalai Lama conference, if you can imagine. And this year's is going to be certainly going to be no letdown. Really a stellar group of members and also non-members are going to be contributing to this year's program. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. And so some of you who are thinking about coming can make your arrangements. It's going to be a very, very full time this year because in addition to our own summer conference, we have the Theosophical Order of Service International Conference, which is going to be taking place immediately following ours. So we're going to have people coming from really all around the world to participate in that. And so already the house is filling up fast. So if in fact you have any kind of interest in coming, I would heartily recommend that you do something about it now. This year's Summer National Convention is going to be a very good one. We're having Vic Hao Chin from the Philippines, who conducts self-transformation seminars worldwide. He's established a school in the Philippines, the Golden Link, which teaches theosophy in his curriculum. Fernando de Torrijos, who's director of mindfulness programs in psychiatry at the University of Massachusetts Medical School. He's worked for years with John Kabat-Zinn. Dorothy Bell is joining us, who is a master in education from Australia. Sister Gabrielle Uline, who is a internationally renowned author, facilitates retreats, and she's going to share her views about Christian mysticism. One of the things that I have felt it is very important for us to concentrate on here at the American section has been the international aspect of our Theosophical Society's work, particularly in terms of bringing people together from various sorts of countries across the spectrum of the theosophical world. We've been doing that with some regularity here recently. Pretty much every year we have had something. The Dalai Lama, of course, was something that brought people from around the world. The next year, immediately following that, in 2011, we had the International Theosophy Conference, 2012, the International Theosophy Conference, which brought together various theosophical groups. Whether or not many of our members know it, there's a diaspora of theosophical groups that have come from the same root but have divided off in various ways and approached it in slightly different sorts of with slightly different sorts of emphasis. So we had a big group of people that met here in 2012, representing that the ITC. This year, we're going to be having the International Conference of the Theosophical Order of Service. So we're having members from New Zealand, Australia, India, Pakistan, from South America, North America. A number of members are going to be coming. Particularly, it's going to be a working conference this year. So it's something where really the invitation has really been mostly focused on people who are active members doing actual sort of service work around the world. So that's going to be taking place this year in July. We've already started our planning and have already booked some dates for 2014, which promises to be something of a busy year as well. In addition to our normal sorts of our own Summer National Convention and then the Theosophist, which we have one-day event every year in September. This past year was attended by 1,600 people, and the people who are involved promise it's going to be more this year, so we'll see how that goes. But for 2014, one of the things that we have on tap that we're very excited about, you'll be hearing more about it, is the Education for a New Humanity, which is a conference that we're organizing that's really going to focus on a variety of the threads of the various educational approaches that have really are quite closely related to, and some of them actually came directly out of the Theosophical Society and its worldview. So we already have prominent individuals who will be representing some of those streams. For instance, Rudolf Steiner's Waldorf schools, we will have representative of that. Montessori education will be represented. The Krishnamurti school will also be here for that. Vic Hao Chin will be representing the Golden Link schools in the Philippines. And Joseph Cornell, who is quite prominent in nature-based education and is a worldwide proponent and authority on that. So we're going to be having a 4-day conference here at the national headquarters, which is going to be not so much just people presenting their individual points of view, but we're looking to have some sort of interaction and some sort of conversation take place around that. So it promises to be something that's going to be could be quite effective going forward in terms of educational thinking in these very active streams out there in the world already. So that's going to be open to anyone who would want to attend. We'll be telling you more about that as we go along. Education for a New Humanity. So be looking for that as it comes up. Also in the spring of 2014, we've been in contact with the people who are involved with the Inter-American Theosophical Federation, which is largely composed of the groups. It's composed of all of the Americas, but the beautiful thing that it does is it brings together South America and North America. So we had hosted that here back in 2008. They meet every 3 years. So we're going to be doing it again in 2014. Those are always very lively meetings. All of Latin America is represented, as well as the US and Canada. So that's something that you can also look forward to for those of you who are looking for an international flair without ever having to leave the US. You can come here and you'll certainly get it. I think we're going to have to schedule a merengue night. So for those of you who don't know what merengue is, just bring your dancing shoes and you will find out. So that's going to be coming up again in 2014. Wanted to bring you up to date about another change that's going to be happening. This one is with our program brochure. That's the mailing that goes out listing all of our programs and workshops seasonally. So it comes out 4 times a year, every 3 months. For about the last 10 years, that's something that has been produced and designed by a member of the Theosophical Society, Tom Ockersey, who is a member out in Rhode Island and in fact is the Rhode Island School of Design, actually former dean of the design at the Rhode Island School of Design. So obviously it's been something that's been quite a quality production for all of these years. So many thanks to Tom for all of his time and effort in bringing us up to such a high standard. We're going to be changing it, and I'm going to show you just a little brief view of the cover of the issue. This will be the first issue, the newest one that we have come out with, the first time since we have changed the actual cover design. So take a look at it, let me know what you think, and perhaps you can get back to me with that. During this past month, also had a chance to reconnect with our friends at the Greenheart organization. I think a couple of months back, I think it was November, I had told you about a meeting that was held, public program, that I really thought was extremely effective, that was sponsored by the Greenheart organization. It was called Envisioning a World Transformed, that brought together a lot of people who they described as Chicago change makers, people who were really active in fields that were benefiting the local area, and all of them in ways that involved consciousness, but also in very concrete sorts of projects, from education to business to housing, also to meditation and cultural creatives, I think is the term that was applied. So I had a chance to have another get-together where a group of us got together in Chicago for dinner and really just had a chance to discuss and throw around some possible scenarios for group activity, things that could involve a variety of people, a variety of groups, where it's all pointed at some sort of needful activity in our local area here. So I think that's something that has great promise. So these are some of the people who attended the meeting. Emmanuel Kunzelman, to the far left, is the founder of the organization. And so it was just a nice opportunity to share a few things together. And finally, what would a month be without some celebration? So this past month, we had a couple of occasions that we could really point our celebrating toward. During the month of February, we had Mardi Gras, translation, Fat Tuesday, that fell during the month, and as it always does. And we also had Valentine's Day. So we celebrated those things with decoration and with just recognizing the occasion, and had a nice little opportunity really to do some things on Valentine's Day in particular. Mardi Gras, the golden and the silver coins, and then the little baby, because actually it's a celebration of the baby Jesus. That's often forgotten in the reveling. But beautiful cupcakes, my wife made those, Lily. And then this is our Valentine's Day spread and get together, which took place during the break. So folks around largely eating and talking. And then we had a visit from the kids of the Prairie School as well. They sang a couple of songs and did a little dance routine. And also they brought their classical string group and serenaded us with a couple of songs that they have been learning from our own Diana Kabigting, who has been teaching them over the course of this year. So all in all, wonderful time was had by all.